Israeli opposition leader and former Prime Minister Yair Lapid has repeated a call for Netanyahu to resign, ramping up pressure on the Prime Minister a day after he was heckled in Parliament by relatives of captives held by Hamas. Lapid says changing a Prime Minister in the middle of a war isn't good, but the one in office is worse. He cannot continue. Gideon Levy is a columnist at Haaretz newspaper, and he's joining us live from Tel Aviv. Always a pleasure to have you with us on Al Jazeera, Mr. Levy. Netanyahu's obvious critics aside, just how much support does he have for his handling of the war?
The support shrinked dramatically, but he still has his base, and this base will be very faithful to Netanyahu. But above all, it's not only about the public opinion. The majority in the parliament is still very solid, and therefore all the talkings now about replacing him are not realistic, because I don't see, you need 4 members of his coalition to quit the coalition and to change sides. I don't see none of the members of the coalition doing so in the coming future. And if not, all the talkings about replacing Netanyahu are quite hollow.
We often hear that Netanyahu will not remain Prime Minister after this war. Would that be a reason for him to prolong it?
I wouldn't get so far. I mean, he's a very cynical politician, no doubt about it. But I give him still the credit that this, for sure, will not be his only consideration. I cannot buy it that he will do everything to prolong this war only for prolonging his term. I refuse to believe in it, even though there are many people, finally it's above what's deep in his heart and deep in his mind, which nobody knows. Many think that that's his motivation. I wouldn't take it so dramatically, so extremely.
Certainly, he has spoken since the war began about a very long war. He said recently that they will fight, that Israel will fight until the end. But do we know what the end is, or does he know what the end is?
That's the $1 million question, because neither him, nor you, nor me, nor anyone knows what is the end game of this war. I kept on saying this also in your network from day one. We went to this war with some kind of justification because of the barbaric attack on the 7th, but without any plan. How far do we go? What are the goals? Are they achievable goals? In which way? Are we ready to pay any price to achieve those goals? Are we going to enforce the Palestinians in Gaza to pay any price for achieving the goals, including killings of thousands and tens of thousands of people? I mean, all those questions were never answered, and therefore we continue now in an inertia of war without nobody knowing where do we go, what are the goals, can we achieve them, when will we stop? And everyone looks at Washington with a hope or with a fear, it depends, when will Washington put an end to this war?
What about the war cabinet? Are they on the same page about the objectives? There's Netanyahu, the defense minister, another minister, Benny Gantz, a couple of observers. Are they united, at least them, in the objectives of the war?
More than it seems. Don't be wrong, there is a big majority in Israel to continue the war, including the opposition. I didn't hear Mr. Lapid or Mr. Gantz or anyone else who called to stop this war now. None of them said so. So we shouldn't get too much excited about an opposition in Israel to the war, because there is no opposition to this war in Israel, which should worry many Israelis.
Mr. Levy, it's very good to have your analysis. That is Gideon Levy joining us live from Tel Aviv. Thank you.
Thank you.